We're live.
We are live.
I see that red button. Back on camera. Back on camera. Live camera.
Right, exactly. I'm seeing some things. So I love this. Hi, Chris. You guys, welcome to the after show. This is
Jaimi.
the pre show for our after show for Million Dollar Secret 2.
Unbelievable. Can you believe it's season 2 already?
No, I cannot actually. It came so fast. I was just starting to have fun at season 1.
Yeah, we're yesterday's news now.
I mean, okay, so that's kind of some of the stuff we want to talk about. You guys, we were doing some little troubleshooting before, but I definitely want to get into it. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. You can catch us here for the next 3 Thursdays because after Million Dollar Secret 2 airs, we are going to be talking about the episodes because no one knows the stag like we do. So,
That's right.
speaking of the stag, okay, let's talk totems. I see yours there. How do you feel like your totem was like? Part of how does your totem become part of you? Was it the perfect totem for you or what?
I was so happy about it when I pulled it, to be honest with you, because that was the first thing, like, people don't know. That was the first thing that we did on camera was we pulled our totems, right? So that was our introduction. We didn't know that there were going to be animals that were a part of it. And I pulled it out and I was like, I mean, that's an amazing animal. I love wolves. And now what's funny is I have leaned into the wolf persona. If you anybody you follow me, you know this. Like I post every song that's related to a wolf. I put wolf in every story that I'm looking right now. I have a Lego wolf just over the back of this camera. I got a little totem. I got 3 plushies. So my apartment is wolfed out right now. So I've been leaning in. I don't know about you. I know you love the snake too, so it's perfect.
I do, and I'll talk about that. What's up, Lamont? He says, "What's up, you guys?" This is Lamont was on Ready to Love on OWN, and we had a chance to connect. And he is Million Dollar Secret Crew
That's
down.
fantastic.
So just to let you guys in on a little secret, we call ourselves the real Final Four, but shh, don't tell anybody.
It's our little secret.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, how are you guys? Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys
Uh,
for joining.
So yeah, I feel the same way about my totem. Like when I pulled the snake, I already knew what it was. Like I shared with you guys, a lot of people, because obviously we didn't know anybody when we got into the stag. So they were like, "Ooh, snake, is she this or that?" I'm like, "Oh no, baby, trust me, it is transformation."
Be like, it's got nothing to do with me. And what people may not know is they didn't cut it this way, but Jaimi and I know this is that we pulled our totems together.
We did. This is my guy. They stuffed us in a car with blindfolds on to sit with each other for about an
Mhm.
hour before we pulled up to the front doors to seal our fate.
Yeah, it's a little behind the scenes. Is they made it look like everybody arrived to the stag by themselves, but they actually arrived in pairs. And Jaimi was my pair, so that was the first person that I saw when I took my blindfold off was Jaimi. He was my introduction to the show, and it was so funny because we didn't know if we could talk yet or whatnot. I looked over at her and I was just like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
It was like a head nod. Remember, I gave you like a little head nod in the car, and then we just rolled down.
And it was nothing but a head nod because let me tell you, this guy stays in the game. You was like in the game. You be ready.
I think we were nervous. I was nervous.
Oh my God, I was so nervous. I still get nervous. I was like, oh, you guys hear my clips. I was like, okay, we'll be here throwing up. The snake, the boar, the wolf, and the eagle, Sydney. Yes, Sydney and Kyle are here in spirit. They both had to work. This was kind of like a pre-show. We wanted to make sure we had the kings together, that you guys knew where to find us. I am producing this show as well as talking to you guys, so I'm finding my flow in that. Reading your comments. The trailer for the new season looks awesome. What do you guys think about it? I'm gonna be a little biased. I like our trailer better. Is it just because I'm in it, or do I just have a bias towards our crew?
Well, you know what? You know what was interesting about the trailer too is like we know that house like it's our own house. So when you watch it, half the time I'm like, am I watching our own season? And then we have some people on the season who look sort of like people from our season, and you're like, oh wait, no, 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 this is new people. Okay, yeah, because that's an interesting part of season 2. I'm sure people have wondered about that. Like, were they going to pick a different house? You know, and were they going to
Oh,
go for a different vibe? But it's the same house. And when I watch the trailer, obviously I flood back to season 1, but you think to yourself like, oh, oh yeah, this is like just a different crew. Oh, we hold on, there we go. We have the
I
surprise. We have the
mean,
surprise entrance
Hi guys.
coming to you live from the car.
I know. I have a work dinner, so I'm actually popping in right before that because I couldn't miss this.
So guys, I left a work dinner to come do this. So I think this shows that Sydnee's a much better employee than me.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. Well, I mean, the stag always comes first.
That's
Has
right.
to, has to. We're
Whether it's
dedicated
before or
here.
after.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, here's Lamont saying hi. Yeah, so we're just in here talking about our stuff. Hey
Hi,
girl,
thanks
I
for
miss
hopping on,
you.
guys. I know I miss you guys too.
I know it's been too long.
Can you
So
guys
we
hear me
talked
okay? I'm
about,
on my AirPods.
We hear you
yeah.
fine.
hmm
Okay, okay, good.
So we talked about it, but you could share, how do you feel like did you own your totem? How did you feel your totem relates to you?
So one thing that they didn't show, and I don't think I really talked about it a whole lot, maybe in a couple podcasts, but for those of you who didn't know, my grandpa, so I was there competing for my grandparents at the time. My grandparents in Wisconsin, my grandpa had cancer, my grandma had a bad back, and my grandma in Arizona, who I was helping take care of, actually had a lot of health issues. And so I was there competing for my grandparents. And my grandpa, who had passed away back in 2008, his favorite animal was the eagle. We always associated him with the eagle, actually. And so when I pulled that totem out, I knew that he was there. I knew he was watching over me. I actually saw multiple eagles outside of my room, which was really cool. And then, not to do with the show, but just like how present he is in our lives. My parents got down today from Alaska because they're going to a memorial service for his best friend, actually, who passed, and they had an eagle circling their car. So big eagle energy, honestly. And I felt like that was really just him being there with me and just letting me know, like, hey, I'm here. This is going to be good and an experience one way or another. So,
Yeah, and by the way, for anybody who's on the cast, we all know this already because it almost got her voted out when she picked up a feather. So
oh,
that was the
yeah. Oh,
secret
my
that didn't make
gosh.
it into the show. We can
Yeah.
talk behind the
Jamie,
scenes freely now.
now we can. Jamie and I think it was the first day that Phil was the millionaire
Yep.
and Lauren was still in. Jamie and I had our first one-on-one. That was the very first time her and I had a one-on-one. It was down at the lake, actually. And we were chatting and I saw this feather and I picked it up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I collect feathers at home, which I do. I actually have a whole jar full of feathers. So it was kind of funny that, yeah, could have been my secret agenda. Cause I think Jamie, you picked one up too. And I was like, is the agenda getting someone to pick up a feather?
That was at the
Well,
point in the season when we got persecuted for anything that you did. That was not a normal, like we got what was it, throwing rocks, right? Like you couldn't do anything. So you pick up a feather, it's
Breathing,
like, oh, why'd you pick that
breathing,
feather up?
breathing. I still feel like we can't do
breathing.
anything, but that's another topic. Little shade. No, but the feather and the eagle thing is, I'm somebody who is really receptive to things. And before we even got into the house, eagles were outside my window. And it was so, I don't see eagles all the time here in Texas. So it was stuck out to me so much. We weren't allowed to talk to anybody. So I slipped a note under the door to production and I asked them, can you please Google eagle and tell me what it means as a spirit totem? So
Yep.
that's another thing too. When Sydney and I started talking, she was the eagle. We're picking up feathers. We're all in our eagle. I was like, "Ooh, I like this girl."
It was so fun, honestly. It's crazy because you're there and I don't think people understand because we're not filmed 24/7. And I've had to talk about this with people where when you're trying to like figure this out and play the game, but then we do have moments of being real. And then it's like you almost have to get back into the game, right? Like the cameras are off, maybe we're eating, we're not allowed to talk about anything that's in the game, but talk about just the normal stuff, the weather stuff, just being ourselves. And then all of a sudden Peter walks in and me like usual. And cameras come back on and we have to slip back into game mode. So trying to like you couldn't be a human almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be times where we would be really excited and ready to go and lit, and it'd be like, okay, be quiet. Because the beautiful thing about production, a lot of people asked a lot of questions about that. We couldn't talk behind the scenes. Everything that we did had to be true to being on the camera because they didn't want to miss anything. They didn't want us to discover something or feel some kind of secret way and have no context to give the audience. So it was very challenging to be hype and want to talk or be friends or lean in or be excited and be hushed and cattled around and blindfolded and quieted. It's an interesting experience.
In the beginning,
That was so
you couldn't
wild.
even look at each other.
No,
No.
me and Chris
No,
sat in a car for an hour next to each other, blindfolded.
Yeah, we had no idea, which I think it's interesting how they do things, differently, or how they might do things differently. I'm excited to see what kind of challenges they have for this season, and just to see how people adapt with it. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what show it is. I was talking with Chris about this the other day. I don't care if it's Survivor, Traders, Big Brother. You have to have a social game. You have to. And
Absolutely.
so there is, especially at the beginning, when you don't know what's a clue, you don't know what's an agenda. You have to have a good, strong social game. And voting,
Voting what?
just voting people out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Am I breaking up? Sorry, my headphones are dying.
We
Yeah,
lost
you
her
were.
right
It's
before
okay.
her
I'm gonna go to the
insight.
comments real quick. Casey,
Oh,
season
Casey.
2.
Okay. All right,
Casey
so
in the
now we have our
house.
first
Casey,
crossover. Okay. Welcome, Casey.
She said season 1 trailer is definitely better than season 2. I mean, it is what it is.
Well,
You know,
that coming from her means a lot.
it does.
So
I love that. Then we have Gus in the chat. He says, looking forward to season 2 and more seasons after because I'm going to need an all stars with you guys, you both on it. Cheers, all the love and success. And of course, Auntie Sydney too.
perfect.
Guys, I
That
have a
would be something
confession.
else.
I would do it.
Please.
I would do that in a second.
What's
I
the
have a
confession?
I have not watched another reality show except this one that's going to be coming up. Like Million Dollar Secret's really the only reality shows that I'll have ever watched a full season of, and I can't even say I watched the full season of ours because I shut my laptop when I got voted off. So.
I only watched our season one time, and then I would catch it in the background whenever people would be watching it around me. It's like a jump scare. I try to get out of the room, but like, you know what's funny is I don't know if you guys have met a bunch of people. I think you have probably met some people from other shows, right? Like, so I went to this event in Los Angeles, and I met people from a bunch of other shows and a bunch of other Netflix shows, and even ones that have come out recently. And every time they come up to me, they're like, Million Dollar Secret, right? That's a fire show. I loved it. What a great season. And I'm like, yeah, cool. What were you on? They're like, oh, I was on season 8 of The Circle, or like I was on Squid Game, The Challenge. And I'm always like, how was that experience for you? Because I have nothing to say because I didn't watch them.
Yeah.
I know we're pretty
No,
spoiled with that.
I know. It's like if it doesn't take place in an opulent mansion, I'm not watching. That's my rule.
And now at this
See,
point,
I
I'm
don't
not
know if I could do
participating.
any of the other shows. Yeah, I'm like, we kind of started way up there. Like, I'm supposed to go sleep on the ground now. That sounds like a lot. I would do it.
Can you
Okay,
imagine?
I would do it. I think. Could you imagine? You
Going
want me to
Actually,
eat bugs
no.
now?
Yeah. And then what we're playing for 250,000, a quarter of a
It doesn't matter. We
million.
didn't win any of it, so.
No, you know what? Yesterday I had friends. I was hanging out with some friends, and they had on Fear Factor House, which
Yeah.
is like the new Fear Factor, and they're all in a house and all this stuff. The challenges they were having to do, I was like, Peter would never make me do that.
We have to go down as some of the most spoiled reality TV stars to date because the Stag, the food, cast care, going for $1 million out the gate that we didn't have to earn and bank. We just had to play. Like, we're kind of top tier.
You know what
Well,
I
and
told some
you
people?
hear other shows don't get to eat their food.
We
Oh
had
my
no
God.
problem with that.
Oh no, we cleared plates. Sydney cleared her plate, his plate, that plate. We was eating plates and food off of everybody like, I'm gonna need that.
Let's like come over. But no, they're like the food's just for show on other shows.
Ours was inherently edible. They turned me eating into like a running bit on this show. It was like every 15
Oh,
minutes they
yeah.
would cut to me scarfing down the food. So
And me too. How about me? Because I got clowned so hard for eating like a giraffe, my mint. I love the mint. I was just like, oh, you forget you're on camera. And I
Where
wasn't even talking. Why are you
you ate
worried
on
about
that
me?
food
I'm just hungry.
challenge. You ate on
Yeah,
that food challenge. Can we just, if you
I can't
haven't
say the
seen
same
it,
for
you got to.
myself.
You got to. Me neither.
That
Corey
Baby,
started gagging and I was done, but
I
Jaimi ate on
know.
that.
and Jamie baited me into the biggest gaff of the whole season. So it was pretty good from her. You know
That
what it
was
was is though,
so
like
fun.
by that point in the season, Jamie and I had like a great relationship, and it was like, oh, if she's gonna play, like I'm gonna go back at her even harder, and that just got me into the biggest mistake of the whole season. So it was great.
I love it. And that's so true to form for my authenticity. So my mom used to make fun of me because she'd be like, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Like if my dad got 5 tacos, I wanted 5 tacos. I know I'm a kid, but I'm hungry. So me like lapping food off a plate and doing the most is almost true to form.
Yeah,
Just saying.
no, you were good at it. So
And I've seen you cooking in the kitchen too. Don't start with me right now. You know who can cook? I know he's not on here right now, but Kyle. Ah,
We're going to Kyle's house. We're pitching tents and we're making him cook for us. All of the weird stuff. Because
I'm not
like
pitching
we
a
said
tent.
in
He
the
just got a
show.
nice new apartment. I'm staying in a room.
No, in his apartment.
no, the craziest part too
Hey,
with Kyle is like Kyle will be like, here I'm gonna cook up the most delicious meal you've ever seen in your life. It's like red beans, rice. It's covered in fat. Guys have like 2% body fat. I'm like, how does this work, Kyle? Because like if I ate the
if
way you
that,
ate, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. That's just being
he
young,
said
I guess.
he's bulking. I just talked I was on the phone with him for about an hour.
Did she go out for you?
Did we lose her forever? Sydney, the first
Wi-Fi.
one eliminated from the after show.
Right.
Ah,
Speaking of,
I got voted out. Oh my gosh.
No, you're frozen.
oh my God, that's so
Oh,
funny because I'm
dang.
like, speaking of, oh my God, yes, what happened when y'all got voted off? So curious.
I
We
was the
got,
first one.
you want to tell your experience?
Yeah, I started the whole cascade of all four of us going out in a row. So, um,
Oh
I
my
guess
God. Did
y'all
we
went
learn
in the
our lesson,
morning.
Chris?
Did we learn our lesson? I don't know. I think I did.
Did you learn your lesson?
Did I learn
What
my
don't we
lesson?
do? We don't lie to Sydney.
My lesson was don't lie. Yeah, I told one lie on the whole show and it got me voted off. I think the lesson was to tell the truth on a lying show. But no, so I got voted off at night. I think Kyle and Jaimi have a much different experience, which I'll let them tell. But I went out at night, and because I was, violently defending myself and could tell that I was going to get voted out, I had no appetite at the dinner. But we had duck confit with sweet potatoes. It was really good, and you get whisked right away. So I you go, you do your little scene in the car. Then you go back in, do your confessionals, which they want you to go in the confessional and be like, fuck this person, fuck that person, right? I was pretty like conciliatory. I would say I wasn't quite as I accepted my fate at that point. But then they take you out of the house to the backup hotel, and I was on a flight within 12 hours from when I got voted off. But the best part was, as I was walking out of the Stag, they handed me like a styrofoam container and said, "You didn't eat your food. Here it is. Bring it back to the hotel." So I got my duck confit, my sweet potato. I brought it back to the Holiday Inn or Hampton Inn or wherever it was, and I said, "I got to be the first person ever to microwave duck confit, like Michelin star quality duck confit in a microwave at a Hampton Inn." And I ate it at
Eat
the end of
it
my bed.
cold.
And then you get your phone back, which is the best part. So I got my phone back, and I
Blasphemy.
figured out like if I were to have died, that's the cool thing about being on reality TV is you get to like microdose what would happen if I died. Like who would care about me? Because you can't tell anybody that you do this, right? But
Yeah.
you go away for several weeks. I check my phone. It's like, who's checking up on me? So if you didn't say, Chris, what's up? I haven't heard from you. Are you okay? Like you're on my shit list. Like, you obviously don't care about me at all. So those people I know.
Chef Scott, we were just talking about your food.
There
Speaking
he
of
is.
duck confit,
Scott, I was just talking about your duck confit and how I ate it in a Hampton Inn microwaved because I couldn't eat it at the
Blasphemy. He
table.
should have had it cold.
he says, miss cooking for you all. Sorry again about the food challenge. Oh, please don't
Yeah,
apologize. If
don't.
I
I'll tell you
got
what.
this.
This is the
Okay,
truth.
Jamie's got
I
it,
told
but
Scott
I'll
the same
accept the
thing.
apology.
Yeah.
I told Scott this when I did the food challenge. Is I actually won like a certain piece of it by accident because I ate one of the bad foods, but I thought it was good. So my reaction was authentic.
I am so that is disgusting. Don't let me go back and find out what you were really eating and be mad at you for thinking that was
I don't know. I
good.
like spicy food. I think I was eating something with like pepper in it or something like that, and I thought it was good. And then I was like, they were like, "Oh, it was the yuck," and I was like, "Oh, I thought that was good." Like, So that
See,
just goes to
I
show.
had mine until Corey started gagging. Because I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I can switch it from sweet to savory. I can switch it. And then he starts making those gagging noise. And it didn't matter what no, cheater.
Oh yeah, I could totally understand. What does this one say? Shady
Ooh,
question for
ooh.
Jaimi. Do you think production purposefully edited your clips to make you look like the cast Mean Girl? I feel like you are very nice in reality. I know not feel. Yes. So what I tell people is I signed my life away. I don't really care so much about the edit because what you saw really happened, right?
Mhm.
However, me, silly little me, came out of the Stag thinking like, "Oh, I'm going to be a house favorite," because we had so much fun. We were joking so much. I was always
Yeah.
clowning. We were
Actually,
laughing
with Lauren. With
with
Lauren. You and Lauren you hit it off before you and I ever did, and you guys were like keying it up and everything like that. So there's a lot that didn't get shown.
yeah. And because Lauren and I were in the car. Chris, you were there too.
Oh
But
yeah, Laura and
and
I were in the back
Phil
seat together. Yep.
on the way to the shooting challenge. We
Hmm.
had a ball. That was a long drive.
We did.
I thought you guys, and I still do think you are some of the smartest, coolest people that I feel like I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet without this opportunity. And it was dope. I like make friends out of everybody. So it was a little awkward to see. I said what I said, and still to this day, I stand on it. We can expound on that maybe in another chat. But I also, for example, when I left the Stag, I was so happy. I said so many kind and loving things, wonderful about everybody, the experience. And when I left, it's like I'm saying something about feeling negative energy. And it's like, guys, you couldn't give me no moment of humanity in this whole thing. I thought it was going to be a favorite because I'm so cool.
Yeah.
So
I
it
like
was,
you.
see,
O-
guys, I do have friends.
Obviously, like our friendship as a group has only continued to grow, but our friendship is also there in the house. And I always tell people the same thing. I'm like, Jaimi is phenomenal, like a phenomenal person. Like I think you and I got along the whole season.
No, we really did,
I
except
think you
Outside of maybe one
I
or
was
two
like,
moments.
we
But
had one moment, and I
I
was
was
like,
I was I was I was influenced by outside forces that were beyond my control. Okay.
so
but
me and
I think
Sydney have
Jamie,
that in
because you
common.
are so true to oh my gosh. But I think Jamie, because you are so expressive and that not everybody's comfortable expressing themselves or being very like embodied and passionate. Like even I'm generally more reserved. I like I said, my plan going into that was like, keep your little mouth shut. It doesn't work. But like you have so much passion and authenticity, like who you are and person. It doesn't always, and that's more but it kind of will that way. You know what I mean? It's very good to be.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but I get the gist of it. I am very expressive. I'm very passionate. I'm very authentic. And I try to remind people too, like we were put in a house with a bunch of people we don't know. So trying to understand everybody's personality and things really played a part in how certain comments were received or certain behaviors. Like, Harry praying, Say Young picking stuff up. I learned quickly, like, wait, we can't judge people. We do not know these people. And
Right.
I have to keep that in mind when they're interacting with me. Like, maybe you and all your friends talk to each other like that. I don't know. I can't be mad at it.
Hmm.
What would you guys do differently? Like, would you
That
change
was
anything about the strategy?
that was one question I wanted to ask. You want to go first on that? And then I have
Uh,
one about, yeah, I want to ask.
you know what I've thought about recently is like I would have come in with like entire completely different character, different name, like different everything, and just fully committed to that the whole entire way. Because I
I
think,
don't trust
like I
myself to do
said,
that.
it was hard having those like human moments when the cameras were off, like reverting back to our personalities. And I think I would probably try to fake name, fake that, like everything believable backstory, but just change like character.
Okay, so it was hard to hear, but she said just change everything, her character, her name, everything.
Well,
Thanks for the
Sydney got
love.
you. Sydney, you got in trouble more. I think like the points of the season where you got in trouble the most was when you were being the most like vulnerably you in a sense. Like the thing that you did where you were like super open about the jobs that you had in Scottsdale and things like that. That almost got you voted off, right? So it is true. Like it would have been interesting to see if I could just play a different character and not get into the details of my life. But I remember back to when I was saying that, I was like, that is a very real thing, like a real human thing to be like, oh, you know what? I make money in 4 different ways. Like I'm just trying to get it. That doesn't mean that she's the millionaire. I know that makes me whipped in some people's eyes in the show, but that's the truth. Like
It's the truth. Well, they weren't there. There were so many aspects to things because it was the same thing. Sydney and I both got in trouble for our truth because I was like, I voted for Lydia. Baby, I told y'all that. But so now I'm a millionaire because I voted for, like, you don't want to think beyond, or yeah, I have 2 sisters. You think nobody else is lying. So it is kind of that thing. I feel like the one thing I would have done different, and it's just the one thing, I would have kept my character. I would have kept myself because my thing was to just be myself. And I actually think that worked out really well for me. I'm happy with that. But that last dinner, I absolutely. So Cara and I had quite a few moments. I'm not going to say we had an alliance, but we were checking in with each other. And the second that she threw me under the bus, when we came into dinner, that should have been my indicator that she would only do that if she's protecting herself.
mm-hmm,
She got the money. That's the only
mm-hmm.
thing if I could think. But you guys, I was so exhausted from fighting for my life. The day before the day, I
That's
was
what people
exhausted.
don't know.
I
It's
was
like you
exhausted
that was a Thursday, and you spent the Wednesday and Tuesday on lock. Like you
with my
were
tail on fire.
absolutely you were like at 3 days, basically 3 days in a row. You took a break on Wednesday afternoon just to shuffle my ass out the house. I took the fall for you, Jaimi. That's what it was. You know what I
What?
mean?
Please explain that to me.
Well, I'm saying with the heat was on you, and then the box was empty for you, and then it just came right to me.
I
Everybody was
hated
done
that.
for you.
I hated that. But you know what? I hate it because I feel like you were in that conversation, weren't you, when we literally discovered it was no, first Chris. First, Chris. Do you remember when the money moved and we had that brunch and Sam was sitting to my left, you were at the end of the table with Lydia. It was like Kyle, whatever. And I trusted you because we had a thing. Me and Chris was rocking. So I
Yeah.
came right up to you. I was like, I think Sam has the money. I can hear it in her throat.
You guys watched it back on the episode. I knew it was Sam from the beginning. I knew it was her from the second she sat down. That was the
This
most obvious one of the whole season. It was more obvious to me than Phil. It really was.
it
And
was. We
and
knew right away.
that was what was so frustrating about my elimination, and frankly why I got so upset at my elimination dinner is because imagine, being told you're a liar by people you have really gotten close to when you know you're right. You know you're right. And I looked in Kara's eyes and I begged her not to vote for me. I said, if you want to get it right, you're not going to vote for me. I promise you. I know it's her. I promise you. And she just wouldn't go with it because, there's certain things like in this game, you don't want to be on the wrong side of the vote. So it's a lot of like pack mentality. And like once Corey said my name, I was cooked. I was done.
That broke my heart so much. I want to get into that. But before I do, I wanted to say hi to my girl, Say Lou. So Say Lou is my friend Brittany's daughter, and I've been rocking with Brittany since the early 2000s, baby. Like the stuff we have done, I'm gonna have a whole conversation with her some other time. But she has a beautiful daughter, Say Lou, and they faithfully watch our show. They're ready to watch again just because they love us. So hey,
That's
girls.
great. That's great. I love it. I love our super fans. I love the people who there are people who marathon our show as a comfort show. I learned that people who
Yeah,
watch it over and over again, which is cool.
it's
And I
so
know the season
amazing.
2 cast has done that too. So the season 2 cast, they studied us like a book.
I love it. Except Tariq. Is his name Tariq or Tarek? I don't know how to explain it, but he didn't even watch the show before he went in.
No, he didn't.
Sorry, should I have
No, I
not
hit him
said
up. I
that?
was like, hey man, because he's the wolf, and I said, hey man, you did. Yeah, he's like, I don't know how you did. I was like, okay.
That is insane. But yeah, Chris, your elimination broke my heart because we knew too much. And even when we sat down for dinner, because I'm not gonna lie, first of all, I love Sam. I think she is like in real life, me and Sam kiki it up. She is
Mhm.
so funny. She is a dope person.
Yep.
But y'all see, I voted for her every time because I knew she was a problem. Like,
She,
we gotta get her out of here. She gonna come for us
well,
all.
that's the thing. That's the thing too. Is like it goes back to the question Sydney said about what I would do differently. Like it should be very obvious what I would have done differently for me at least. Like I just and it goes back to what we said about the social game. I'm curious how season 2 will play out, but this game is a social game at first, and no matter what I thought, lying about voting for one of if not my closest ally in the house in Sydney, and we had a very tight thing going on, like a very tight alliance going on throughout the whole game, where I was going to protect her, she was going to protect me, and I pissed her off, and then she voted for me with doubt, and I was like, you know what, Sydney,
I
like
couldn't believe it. I
like
got mad at her for that because I was like, girl, we got bigger fish to fry. Sam is hot on our tail, babe. She
what
gotta go.
she told me that was her number one mistake in
Yeah.
terms of things that she would take back. Because I said, listen, like even if you do think it's me, why would you vote for somebody who's been on your side, like, and will continue to be on your side through the game? Because like
Yeah.
it did sort of turn into like you draw a line down the middle of the house, and like we knew Kara was on the other side, we knew
Yeah.
Sam was on the other side, like they were
Yeah.
not on our side, for
Yeah.
better or for worse. Like,
Yeah.
so don't you want the numbers to be like, even if you think it's me, don't you want the numbers to be in the right side? So, and ultimately that sort of did play out that way. Like we did sort of, once I went out, we started to go in rapid succession.
No, it's very true. And that's
Yeah.
my thing. I wanted, well, maybe we can briefly talk because I wanted to tell Sydney, because I didn't know, we weren't allowed to know that she got immunity at that
Mhm.
last dinner. So I wish she would have spoke up about Cara because she was hot on Cara's tail. But I know she went with saying my name because it was just we were gonna let it play out, but we were squeezing each other's hand and kicking each other under the table and giving each other eye contact. People think Sydney threw me under the bus. She did not. We were in unison, but at some point you have to stop talking because everybody can hear from production to other people. And we just, when we were in the trophy room, we made a plan, we made a pact, and we stuck to it. It just didn't work. But I'm like, dang, if we could have just, if she would have spoke up one time about Cara, I feel like we would have been on that page. And I also didn't know Kyle was on Cara's tail. So we could have had it, but we just, it's that thing. Cause girl, I'm thinking for her, if I go, you're next. You
Yeah.
need me here.
If only you could have just subbed me in for Sam in that last 6, we would have had different numbers.
Oh my gosh. It's just, and that was, guys, I'm not gonna lie. They give you a psychiatrist before, during, and after. So please, those of you who are watching, I know everybody in this chat is cool, but be kind to people because there's people who have like killed themselves for dealing with the backlash and things like this from
Yeah.
social media. But I don't know about you, Chris. I definitely went home with a lot of weight and a lot of thoughts of like what I should have done, what I didn't do, how did this,
Mhm.
like, and it was all personal. I was just hard on myself, like, I messed up because we all went in there believing we
Mhm.
were and could win. It's
I
like being this
really,
close to $1 million.
yeah, because I mean, the way that our production laid out is we obviously have break once a week, right? So we broke on Sundays, and then we went to the last week of filming. I was
Mhm,
eliminated in the middle of the last week, so I went out in episode 6, but I was pretty close to making it to the end. I only missed 2 days of filming, right?
mhm.
And so I got out of there, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I just cost myself $1 million with a snap decision, right? And then I went home, and like one of the things that I do, I still do in my life, is I like going to the movies. Like I have a movie pass and whatever. So I went home and I went to this movie, and I actually walked out of the movie, which I've never done before in my life because I kept replaying the stag in my head. The game wasn't over yet, so I was like, okay, I just can't keep my head off of what's going on. I have to leave. So I just left the movie theater. And you truly
Mm.
do, like, I think it probably took about a month to feel normal in normal life. And then honestly, until the show came out, to feel totally at peace with what happened.
I'll have to second that with you. It took about a month, and then I was good all year, and then just stuff started to come out and things started to unfold, and the show aired, and I was moted. Like I am not someone who cares so much about what people think about me
Yeah.
because I already know, right? 500 people in a room, 500 different opinions.
Hmm.
But I was a little shocked at it wasn't just the edit, but just the way people responded. I'm not used to people talking to me crazy. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, is that what you got from that? So it kind of made me feel some kind of way like this is supposed to be fun. This is entertainment. Why is this feeling so crazy?
How did you deal with it? Because I mean, you know, it's I'm sure some people know this, but like you and I both got it pretty rough from the fan community. So
Yeah.
like, how did you deal with it?
So I'm on the inside, I'm Tupac. You know I'm Tupac.
That's right.
So it's just kind of like I it was the most beautiful experience because let me tell you guys something. I didn't really expound on my totem like I wanted to. In 2024, I went through a really, really hard thing with my family. Now, I'm the eldest daughter. I'm usually the glue of the family. My two sisters have gotten me Mother's Day gifts. I'm very family oriented, and something had happened that obliterated that. But it was also a click. This was 2024. I'm like, I'm not appeasing nobody. I'm standing on my own too on this one. And that was a tough thing to do. It's something I've never done. I usually try to apologize and did it and make everybody, I was like, nah. So when I got the snake, I was like, yeah, because you already been ripping at me,
Mhm.
transformation. This is when we filmed. So 2025, when the show came out and all of that came, it strengthened my ability to stand 10 toes down on who I am, what I'm about, and not backtracking on stuff I've said, I've done, swaying to other people's opinion. It's like I was already primed and ready to receive hard things. So it got
Mhm.
hard, then it got harder, then it got the hardest, but it solidified me in a way that is beautiful because Chris, I meant what I said. I act the way I act. My antics are what they are. I'm a
Mhm.
good heart. I don't go around maliciously trying to bully or hurt or to, and I don't have to explain that. Y'all enjoy the show. So it was almost easy at that point, is what I'm saying, to just be like,
It takes a little bit of time to actually get in that mindset because like I think there's one thing, and I've told this to a couple people on season two too, is like you can prepare for it as much as you possibly can. Say like, oh, I'm prepared to receive comments both from positive and negative, but nothing will truly prepare you for like I saw a TikTok that was clowning me that had like thousands of comments. Like you're not prepared for the scale
the
of
scale.
just like how big a global television show is and then the reactions to that. But I chose basically to say I'm setting a hard line. Like I'm only engaging in positive comments. And like most of the
Mm,
negative comments that I got, as I imagine were for you, were around the dinner that happened in episode 3, right? And
mhm,
I had a conversation with Lauren that we actually filmed.
mhm.
And I apologize. I told her I'm watching it back. I thought I was rougher on you than I remembered being. And I apologized to her for it. And I said, I apologize to her. I'm not going to apologize to the fans too. Like I don't. That's not my
Right.
responsibility to do that. So what I did is I just totally blocked out negative stuff
That's
and just
good.
focused on the positive. And it really was like. And this is more like I'm talking to the season 2 cast at this point. I received reactions from people that ranged from people who told me I was their favorite reality TV contestant of all time to somebody who said I was their least favorite reality TV contestant of all time. I heard both of those things and everything in between. Like I
Yeah.
like some things you did. Like so
Yeah.
I'm focusing on the positive. Like this is my show and how I react to the energy. So I totally agree with you on that. But it does
Yeah.
take a little bit of time to get there.
Yeah. And I feel like I was primed and ready for it. So I'm basically saying I feel like I got the pregame to that in real life before I had to, but you're right. Like, as another thing that I learned, and I want to know too what you've learned from being on this is um I was more of somebody who cared about what people thought,
Mm-hmm.
just because, not like I needed to validate me, but because I love to be understood and I really do mean well. It's really actually unnecessary. I'm plugging at my computer.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all that to say, like, it freed me to really grow and see and believe that that doesn't matter. It just people's thoughts and people's opinions and what they think and how they receive you has more to do with their lens and where they're coming from. And that's okay. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
speak to, again, being the eldest daughter. I always thought I had to you're taught that you're the oldest, you're the example, you're this, you're
Mhm.
that. So I was always very mindful of the way I acted, but it freed me in a way that's like, people are going to be mad either way. Like you said, you're going to be their least favorite, the most favorite. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter. You just got to roll with who you are, trust that, stand 10 toes, and enjoy.
I remember like when I was in the toughest days of my business, I did a lot of research into stoicism and like basically like so you can't control
Oh,
what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. And that was the biggest thing for me is I said,
love
okay,
that.
what type of person is gonna react to this situation? And like what
Hmm.
type of legacy are you gonna leave through this process?
Wow.
Understanding that I had this conversation with myself as I said, unless hopefully not, but more than likely, more people are going to watch me on this show than interact with anything else I do for the rest of my life. Like there's a chance that maybe something I do has a bigger reach than this, but probably not, right? So I
Yeah.
said, what type of impact are you going to leave? And for me, I said I was going to react with positivity and embrace what I could do to make that experience of following the show, engaging with my personality better for people. And that really came through a lot in in-person interactions, which were amazing. So
I
like
love
that's a
that.
was by far the best part of being on this show as far as I'm concerned, was meeting people in person who watched the
Hmm.
show first. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. It still happens. I love every time that it happens.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Meeting people at the airport or the grocery store or wherever they
Yeah.
see me, it's all love. And because I operate that way anyway, it's just this reciprocal thing of like love, like kids taking pictures with
Mhm.
me and
Yeah.
moms are excited
Signing
and
autographs. Yeah.
yeah, signing
And you
out.
know what's
Yeah.
what's what's interesting about that too is like I've thought about this a lot is every time that happens, you like make their day. Like it's like it's the coolest
Yes.
thing, and I'm thinking, how funny is that? Because I'm just a normal guy. Like reality TV people are just normal people, right? All that happened was I went to Canada, I played a game in a house. There were cameras there, and now because I'm walking in the grocery store, I made this person's day. That's so cool, and that to
So
me was
cool.
made all of the other crap and the hate worth it.
Yeah, because it's part of it. But you know what's dope about it is like, I'm ready for more. We can handle it, Chris. We've already done it.
Oh yeah, if they
But
let
did you
any of us
die?
on a second show, it's danger. It's danger zone.
Yeah, no, it's out of there. And I think we should. I watched you on repeat before I left for Canada. We got
Yeah,
season two.
Daisy is one of those season two people who studied us like a book. So I'm sure she
Smart.
probably had some great strategy going in.
Oh my gosh. And we're all going to have to talk. I know we have to wait till airing, but I can't wait to get into it with you guys. Chef Scott, you guys here. He was our chef. You should be so proud of what you achieved on this show. Having seen it firsthand, it was far from an easy experience, and you guys all handled it like champions. Miss you all. Thank you so much. And we did. Like, honestly, I know there's static, with the Lydia, the Lauren, this, but I think we are all so dope. I did not leave the stag having any ill feelings about anybody. It was we still are season one, we're a season one family in the aspect that we're always going to be the OGs,
I'm so proud of all of them. I really am
everybody.
because none of us were previous reality stars or anything like that. And I still think back to like driving over to the set on day one, blindfolded in the cars and things like that. And to think like how we've gotten from that to creating this sort of cultural moment. I'm so proud of all of the cast members for handling it because I think everybody did a great job. And
Yes, we did. I love
we
us.
yeah, and now it's that's the coolest part about this is with season two coming out is now it's a franchise and it's a Netflix franchise and that's really cool.
And we, the OGs, nothing can ever change that. They don't have to put us on any more seasons. Nothing can ever change that. We did the thing. We're the OGs of the whole thing. Gustavo is one of my best friends. He says it's always the one that gets attacked most that's usually the lesser evil, and the one that looks like the victim, that's actually the culprit. You can see that through. It's true. Because you were nice, you apologized. I'm not saying, I apologize for my antics at the table, but I really said what I said for a reason. And I think that not like people have to give me credit, but it's like you can't think that all of this just happened just out of the blue. You guys watch 30 seconds, 30 minutes of a 12-hour day. And I just think anybody smart would know, like, okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't
Well,
catch something.
Well, I also think too, in this, the chances are, this is just my guess, is that season 2 will probably have even more conflict because, it's people who have studied the game and are going to come in with all
Hmm.
sorts of different ideas. And, the only thing I would say to people is it's very hard as a reality TV viewer to take my word for it or take your word for it because it's hard for them to empathize. But you got to
Yeah.
understand that competing for a ton of money on its own right is one thing that's always going to make the knives come out a little bit, but it's competing for the money in a very unfamiliar environment
Oh,
with
yes.
cameras all around you when you're not used to that, where you're already stressed, you're struggling to sleep, you're away from home, you miss your family, all those different things. It's a hyper competitive atmosphere. So
Yeah.
everything you're going to see is emotions turned up. Like I remember
Yeah.
Rob from Love
Everybody
Island. Rob,
cried.
Rob
Everybody
Brown talked
cried.
about that on Love Island. It's like I crashed
Oh,
out, but
yeah.
you got to understand, like something just
Yes.
happens to you when you're on reality TV. You do some
Hmm.
crazy shit. It's like
Hmm.
that's what makes it so entertaining. It doesn't mean that the person outside of the show environment is a bad person.
At all. I feel like I have a very good and distinct, I agree. Being in there and competing where we have to, with everything you just said, and like being a normal person outside, it's just two different things. It's almost hard to explain unless you were there. Like, you guys, it was so intense. I feel like I panicked for 3 weeks straight.
The
Like,
fans don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It's like
it's the
I,
truth.
I never want to tell a fan of the show like you wouldn't get it because you weren't on the show, but it's the
Yeah.
truth. It's the
Yeah.
truth.
I told Russ, because me and Kyle, we got eliminated together, which Kyle will be here when he can make it. He's a very hard worker, and I can't wait to have him on with us,
That's our blue
obviously.
collar boy. He's working. He's burning the midnight oil every single
He
night.
really is. And I love that we got eliminated together because I needed the emotional support. But
Dude, Kyle's good vibes.
yes, so Russ, when I left, he was like, wow, you look so much lighter. And it was obvious. It was like, well, yeah, a 1,000,000-ton weight just got lifted off my shoulders. It's like like let me go. I can finally breathe again. I feel like the sun came out just like it did when you hit that winning shot on the
Yep.
last
That this is
challenge.
like the call. Listen, this is probably gonna fall on deaf ears, and it's like an impossible fight to fight, but it's the truth. Before season 2 starts, is just be kind to the
Be
people on the
kind,
show. Be kind to the
please.
people on the show. They're all first time reality TV participants. They're all regular people, and no matter what happens, I don't know what happens. Be kind to them. Embrace the good, and connect with the things that you see positively. If there's certain things that you don't engage. I know that this is not going to work, but
No.
it's just the reality of things. It's a really tricky situation to
Yeah.
be competing for that much money in that stressful of an environment. It wrecked all of us,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, facts. What he said.
and probably like a group of really tough people because you don't get to reality TV by not having swam in some really choppy waters before to have gotten there.
We are literally soldiers. It is
Yeah,
not for the weak at all, like not even
right.
close. I am so proud of us. I have love for every single person on our cast. It would be all love to see any of them be. It's not, we can't fight each other. We already fighting the world. So one thing I would like to share, since we're talking about some of the other castmates, is a quick little shout out. Let's see how this works. Can I do a little, does this come in here? Let me see. Oh, I'm trying. Let me see if I could do this, please, guys.
There we
Oh
go.
no, it wasn't this one. I was gonna share that. Wait, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Kara's having a baby and she just discovered that it's a boy. So we just wanted to give a little cast love and a shout out to Kara, the winner of season 1. They've decided, her and her husband, to expand their family, and here we go. So I thought that'd be so cute to share. Congratulations, Kara.
Congratulations, Car. Her son's gonna come out and be like, "My mom's a millionaire." Woo!
Yeah, exactly. That baby's gonna come out like, hey. So that was really cute. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So what is it? I think I'll ask one more question before I get into some predictions and we'll get out of here. Um, so Something else that you guys didn't see, and it was just so much fun that we had moments like this. But Chris, do you remember playing the water balloon game? The
Yeah,
one where you had to shoot the head because we were literally, guys, we were out there all day
that was my best
long.
moment.
It was the hardest game ever, but this guy, you guys have no idea how much I relied on Chris. I love Chris so much. I told him, when you go home, you tell your mom that she raised a real one, like to Chris's parents, because this one right here was saving the day left and right. And, we just had such a bond, but we were playing that game and we're like, give it to Chris because Chris is gone. Y'all, it was so magical. By the time we finally hit our winning shot, the sun literally broke through the clouds and shined down on us all.
It was such a magical moment. We lost our minds so much that Sam got to sneak an agenda in right under our noses without us knowing. So that's how crazy. I think I ran off set.
Used to see, we're like jumping all over each other. We're screaming. We're jumping into each other's arms. It was so dramatic, but these are the little nuances that you guys, a lot of stuff looks dramatic or appears whatever, but there was all these little tender nuances that was like, yo, did the sun just come? It was gloomy all day. He hit that shot and
We
it
were
was like
freezing. It was like 6 hours of filming. Yeah, it was
oh,
crazy.
it was so intense. Let's go to some of these comments. Hardest thing I ever did. And I have kids, but I would do it again. Daisy, having a kid.
Yeah.
Wait.
All
Being in
love
the
to
Stag?
parents on this show. All love to the parents on this show.
Oh, and I
because I know
have
how
kids.
hard that is. Yeah, I know. I know
Oh,
how hard that
yeah.
is, especially to be in that environment and want to rely on the love and support of your kids and not to be able to talk to them. It's got to be tough.
Yeah, completely isolated. And then it's like you don't know what's going on or anything. So, wow, shout out to you. Much love, Casey. Can't wait to watch you guys.
Cannot wait to watch Casey shine.
All right. So, let's see. What do I have here? Thank you guys for. Oh, what did I want to? Okay, I'm playing with toys here, guys. So, we're just going to have some fun. Let's see.
Guys,
Wait.
Jaimi is the host extraordinaire. This is a pro at work.
I'm hosting, I'm producing.
All I had to do was show up. That's it.
I want to see what this will do. How's this? So if you guys want to take a little poll, will you watch $1 Million Secret 2? Ding, 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 ding. Put in your votes as I pull this.
I would say if you vote no to this one, what are you doing here?
It's just a fun little, and I wonder if I can do this too, because
Did
while
we
you're
turn
at
you
it,
off that much that you don't want to watch more?
let's see. So you guys have about 10 seconds to vote here and let us know. Yeah, this was so fun. I'm so glad you were able to get in here and we're able to do this because it's going to be so much fun. Okay, guys, thanks for your votes. So now I want to share. We'll just do a little reminiscing. Remember this?
That room still raises my heart rate just to look at it. It's the truth. I mean, honestly, when I see it, I get nervous.
Stress. You guys, we would be having a decent day or even a decent moment or even just a little bit of breakfast before Peter would show up and wreck our lives.
No,
You
it's something
guys,
about that room. It's something about that room because that's the same room as the trophy room.
yeah,
But
somebody's going home room. That's what that is.
somebody's going. It's like the second you walk in there, you just get nervous. Like I got nervous watching Cara and Corey and Sam open the final boxes. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
that room is just something. There's something about it. I know the season 2 people know what I'm talking about. That room it's like a magical room. It's a scary room to walk into, and it
So
looks just
magical,
like that in
so
real life.
scary.
By the way.
It does. Absolutely. And it's interesting too because wait, what was I gonna say? I was talking about the room, guys. I'm doing 4 things at once. I think I forgot. Anyways, oh, that's what I was gonna say. The difference between us and season 2 is you guys, we didn't even know how the game was gonna be played until you saw Peter tell us as we were on the steps.
Mhm.
So as you guys learned the rules, we learned the rules. We knew nothing. We just knew there was gonna be some money and you had to try to keep it. We knew nothing else.
That should be the biggest difference between the seasons as a viewer is
Yeah.
they should be better players than us.
Yeah, they have at least the opportunity, right?
Yep.
All right, kids, here's the new kids.
New squad.
New squad. Get ready, season 2. So pumped, so excited. So before we get out of here, let's talk some of these people.
Yeah.
This is the new cast, guys. We got Nick, LT, Daisy, Hunter. You want to read some?
Yeah, we got Caleb, Casey, Kat, Kevin. We have 2 Laurens for the price of 1. Melissa, Natalie, Tarek, and Yumiko.
I mean, so why don't we just jump into some predictions? I mean, I know we haven't seen anything and this is just so for fun, but who's the winner? While we look at this, you guys type in the chat, who do you think the winner is? Obviously, season 2, keep it short. This is just for the people to have a little fun and we'll go back to your predictions. So
I know
looking
the
at the
season 2
board.
people are not going to mess that up. They're not
Oh
going
yeah,
to
no.
divulge anything.
Okay,
NDA is
we
airtight.
have one. Is this showing? Okay, so Gus says number 1. You mean the
Nick.
person in the first spot? Okay, Gus says number 1. Who else we got? Who else wants to cast their vote? I would say, gosh, I haven't got a chance to like look at or know or understand anybody yet. I think I need to see episode 1, but if I'm picking blind, that's tough. I know I'm asking for some tough things.
So
Okay,
I'm doing some math here. This is a uneven gender balance, like our season was. We were 5 guys, 7 girls. This is 6 guys, 8 girls.
oh, is that okay?
So I'm gonna mix it up and say I think a guy is gonna win.
I think that's fair. I think I'm with you on
Season 2.
that. Jenny put in her vote for Daisy season 3. I mean, Daisy, you guys. Number 3 here. Daisy is her vote. Kevin and Hunter are interesting to me, but I'm not sure why.
All right, Jaimi, let me hear your winner pick, and then I'm going to give you mine.
I think I would go with a guy as well. And I have a top 3. I'm thinking either Hunter, Nick, or Kevin.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed. I think I'm gonna go Hunter just because our poker player went out early-ish.
I like that.
She had a lot of potential if she didn't get kill shotted. So let's see what happens if a poker player goes all the way.
I think that's what I'm leaning towards too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Hunter to win.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you on that because he seems unassuming, but that just might not be the case because we know everything is not what we see here.
That's the crazy thing about this show is like nothing is quite what it. I was gonna ask if I pronounced your name correctly, so that's perfect. I'm really glad that I pronounced your name correctly. That's good.
Hey, girl, we got some more season 2 in here.
But the thing is, everybody on this show is exceptional in one way or another. So that, like, even unassuming, you're on the show because you're a killer in one way or another.
Yes.
And you don't just have to be a poker player. But I'm gonna go with the poker guy to win, just because we got robbed of watching Lydia play all the way to the end. It'll be cool to see a poker player in like the end game scenarios. I think that'll be really cool.
I think that would be great. I'm leaning towards that too. And, we'll check back after we watch episodes 1 through 3 and see if we still feel the same.
So, Jaimi, why don't you tell the people what they can expect on the next 3 episodes of our after show as we go through this crazy season 2, which I know that the season people are so excited to get rolling.
I'm so excited. So what we're going to do, the show airs on Wednesday. We're going to watch, we're going to digest, and we are going to pick out all of the hot points and kind of go through the episodes, talk about what we see, what we think, how we feel, where whoever messed up at, what we can't believe, just all the drama, because again, nobody knows the Stag like we do. We want to pose some questions and some scenarios to see what could have happened behind the scenes, what was really going on, how the challenges look in comparison to us, and work together with you guys to figure out who the millionaire is, who's going to win, who has the best game. So we want to talk games, strategy, Stag, drama, fun, and just watch. We're watching the show with you guys, which is different than last year. So we know you guys like to chatter. So come in here and let us know what you thought about what happens, what unfolds. We'll ask questions and just have a good time. Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time All of the videos are up. So if you guys don't want to forget, you're already here on my YouTube channel. Just go ahead and turn the notification on so that when we go live, you in the game.
Perfect.
So this was so great, guys. I think, let's see, okay, so we did that. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much.
Season 2 cast, good luck.
Season 2
Get some sleep because you're not going to get much this nech month.
No, at least for the next month. Chris, thank you so much for being here.
You know, I'm always down, Snake. I'm here for you. You've been my partner through the whole thing. So
that's right. Nobody could tell me nothing about Chris, period.
That's right.
All right, you guys, share this if you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.